This is CBC Here and Now.
We as the people of the province want to know how we can ensure this does not happen again.
We should not have been allowed to start pumping oil in 6-meter seas. But it seems that there are no regulations that are effective in preventing that kind of disaster.
It's not a case where the CNLPB, has a red light, green light, stop, go. We don't operate the facilities.
Tonight, an oil spill in rough seas.
It's being called the largest offshore spill in the province's history. Officials are still trying to get a sense of the impact.
And the polluter isn't talking. Good evening, I'm Anthony Germain.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes. We begin our coverage tonight with the latest on the White Rose spill. 250,000
liters of oil spilled from an underwater flow line connected to a vessel in the White Rose oil field. It's the largest oil spill in the history of our province's offshore industry.
And right now, there are more questions than answers. This was the view from the Hibernia platform on Thursday.
The storm and crashing waves were severe enough to stop all offshore production, including Husky Energy's Sea Rose floating production storage and offloading vessel.
Then on Friday, Husky was preparing to restart operations on the Sea Rose, and that's when the leak happened.
3 days later, the spill is still not contained. Rough seas continue to hamper cleanup operations.
In an email, Husky Energy says a remotely operated vehicle was deployed to take a look at the underwater situation, and an airplane surveyed the ocean surface again today. Husky says there is no sign of any oil sheens on the White Rose and Grand Bank areas.
Now, the Offshore Petroleum Board says so far 4 seabirds have been spotted with oil on them, and one of those birds may be retrieved to be cleaned up, and officials are now looking for more wildlife that might have been affected by the oil.
Now, we have asked to speak to Husky, but the company is not doing interviews today.
Well, provincial politicians are, of course, speaking out. The spill took up much of question period today. Here Now's Katie Breen is standing by in our newsroom. So, Katie, what were the questions about today?
Well, the main question was, why was Husky firing up their operations again in such poor conditions? As you've said, Husky had shut down. Like every player in the offshore, the company was following its environmental protection plan Thursday. The weather had picked up, so production stopped. But then on Friday, when conditions were still rough, Husky decided to start back up, and that's when the spill happened.
There's 2 issues here. If you have a plan and you didn't follow it, that's one issue. That needs to be dealt with. If you had a plan that was followed and we still got these circumstances occur, that's another problem. So there's 2 distinct issues here that got to be identified.
We as a province, we as the people of the province want to know how we can ensure this does not happen again. And so if they could restart on Friday, then what do we need to do to ensure that in circumstances like we're seeing, like we saw on Thursday, Friday, how can we make sure that that doesn't happen again?
An investigation into what happened is now underway. The PC say something needs to happen fast. We can't wait another year for a report.
If this happens and we get, the worst weather on the planet again in 30 days' time, what assurance do we have that this is not going to happen again? That's my issue. And not just for Husky, for any regulator out there. And that's my concern.
Husky's potential punishment depends on what the report finds. The CNLPB can ultimately take away their license. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Katie Breen for Here and Now.
Well, the rough weather at the time is a factor in this, so let's bring in meteorologist Ashley Brawweiler to talk about the weather conditions during the storm.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Ashley, in one of your previous positions of employment, you actually did some forecasting for the offshore sector.
Yeah, so this is bringing back lots of memories for me. But, taking a look at some of the numbers that this storm produced, quite significant. In fact, for some of the platforms, specifically Sea Rose, they reported, unofficially of course, but reported 31.5 meter waves, which is about 103 feet, which is the equivalent to a 10-story building. So just to put that into a little bit of perspective, Hibernia showed a 75-foot wave, which is the highest seas recorded since Hibernia began in 1997. Now, winds at this time also were about 100 knots, so that's equivalent to about 185 kilometers per hour. Now, this storm was quite significant, not only for the island, but obviously a little bit worse out towards the Grand Banks. And, these winds, this was at the peak, and storm the next day, they were down. Those seas came down quite significantly, but still quite significant waves for this time of year for sure. So This is a look at what the Thursday storm numbers. We've got another system on the way tonight and into tomorrow, not quite as significant nearly, but I'll have all those details coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a lot of questions here, but not a lot of answers coming from Husky Energy, the company that owns and runs the Sea Rose. Husky has turned down every offer for an interview from the CBC. It did release written statements, but it's not answering any questions, leaving that to the CNLOPB. Here Now's Jeremy Eaton has been looking into that aspect of the story and joins us now live from Harborside Park. So, Jeremy, what is the regulator for the oil industry in this province saying about this spill?
Well, as you mentioned in the intro to the show, Carolyn, a plane did fly over the spill site. In fact, that's the 6th flight over the site, and that CNLOPB said that there was no sign of an oil sheen on the water, which they say is good news because it's not an ongoing spill, but actually a batch release. But the CNLOPB, like many people in Newfoundland and Labrador, have a lot of questions about what exactly happened. So to get to the bottom of that, the CNLOPB says it's already begun its investigation.
So in a case such as this, where we have an incident, a spill in this case, it's people, process, and equipment. So we'll look at what the decision-making process was, whether there was a mechanical failure, whether or not it was a process breakdown. Our investigators will take a close look at all those components and determine accordingly the root cause. And from the root cause, we'll work to ensure that things don't recur, and we'll take enforcement action as necessary.
Now, you've already had to take enforcement action against this company.
That's right.
Because of its close call with an iceberg. Are we starting to see a pattern develop here?
It's difficult to say whether 2 incidents is a pattern. These are 2 serious incidents.
Within a year?
Within a relatively short time frame, absolutely. So that's part of our investigation, is to get to the root cause and try to determine whether this is an issue, a systemic issue with this operator.
250 cubic meters is also 250,000 liters of oil in the water. Now that sounds like a lot. So the group that oversees people who make a living fishing on the water are obviously very concerned. Now earlier today I spoke with the FFAW's Keith Sullivan, and here's what he had to say.
Companies come in here, billion-dollar companies. They have a responsibility to the people of the province. And again, right now they're putting all the risk on to harvesters. If there's an oil spill, they could be put out of business. Nobody has a plan for that. I mean, they could say you could sue us, litigate, but it could be years before that's done. So what it comes down to is our governments ensuring that these companies are operating responsibly and give consideration to the harvesters, which is also an important industry here.
Now, Tessier says that the CNLOPB cannot make oil companies like Husky speak publicly when things happen like this. They can encourage them that it is in the best interest of the public for them to be forthcoming with information, but it can't force anyone to talk. So Husky can come here, profit off the oil, but if something goes wrong, they don't have to speak up. Now, as for that investigation we've been telling you about, Tessier says he's not sure how long it will last, but the last one, which was also into Husky, well, that took 10 months. Reporting live for Here Now, I'm Jeremy Eaton in St. John's.
Now, Jeremy raised something interesting there. It has to do with the numbers that you're hearing. You're hearing several of them being tossed around to describe this spill. They all mean the same thing. The oil industry uses cubic meters and is reporting that the spill is at 250 cubic meters. Now, there are 1,000 liters in each cubic meter, which means this spill is the equivalent to 250,000 liters. Since most people use liters in their everyday life and can more easily relate to that measurement, CBC is using liters in our reporting on this story.
Well, a leading researcher says the cause of this oil spill was not the weather, but a weak regulatory system that prioritizes profits over the environment. Bill Montevecchi says hundreds of thousands of marine animals could die as a result of this incident, but the true scale of the impact may never be fully understood. Here Now, Zach Gowdy has more.
What does 250,000 liters of oil look like when it's floating in the ocean? It's the equivalent of about 1,572 barrels of oil. Put another way, it's as much as 125,000 2-liter soda bottles, or more than 700,000 soda cans. But the measure of how much damage it can do will be taken in deaths of marine animals, especially seabirds.
I know for people who study seabirds, it was like a punch in the gut You do the MERS from Cape St. Mary's, the MERS from Funk Island, the MERS from Baccalieu Island, Witless Bay, our populations, they're out there now. That's where they spend the winter, there on the Grand Bank. There's millions of dovekies coming to the Grand Bank from Greenland right now. And that even begs the question of what does it do to plankton? What does it do to fish?
The previous record for an offshore oil spill in this province was set in 2004 when the Terra Nova platform leaked more than 170,000 liters of oil. Between 10,000 and 100,000 seabirds were killed. Now, more than a decade later, the fact that the Sea Rose was pumping oil in 6-meter seas tells Montevecchi that these incidents are not accidents, but the inevitable result of a weak regulatory regime that puts oil profits ahead of all other concerns.
And you hear this argument from oil companies, you hear it from the government, time is money. This is what time is. The more time you take, the more protection you get, the more you rush it, this is what happens. So we have to pump that oil, get it up and running. This 6-meter seas, we need to make time is money, get it going, boom. Yeah, so it's Russian roulette and they just lost, you know? I mean, it's terrible for all of us.
Zach Gowdy, CBC News, St. John's.
We'll continue our oil spill coverage in about 25 minutes and bring you comments from Natural Resources Minister Siobhan Coady about what she wants to see happen next and why she thinks Husky should be speaking publicly.
Well, in other news, maybe it's divine intervention. It's a marvel that nobody was hurt after parts of the railing and a cross at the St. John's Basilica plummeted to the ground during last week's windstorm. The Basilica's maintenance supervisor says that if the small pieces that fell from the 120-foot tall tower had hit someone, it could have been fatal. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. Crews were working hard today to get the church back in shape. For now, the Basilica's front doors are off limits to parishioners and concertgoers, but work is underway to try to get that fixed this week. As for replacing the railing and that cross that fell, well, that is going to have to wait until the spring.
We're not short of inspiration living in the province here.
You are now one of the first people to interview inside the Shop Salt store in Grand Falls, Windsor. The two creators home for the holidays. I'll bring you inside coming up on Here and Now.
Well, a mother whose stepson was killed by a drunk driver is hoping a new program will help curb impaired driving in this province. Patricia Hines-Coates' stepson, Nick Coates, was killed by a drunk driver in 2013. She's now the national president of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Now, the new program is called the Nick Coates Team, named after her stepson. Police officers who take 8 or more impaired drivers off the road in a year will become part of that team. If they get 12, they'll be labeled All-Stars. Hines-Coates says a similar program reduced impaired driving by 55% in British Columbia, and she hopes to see a similar result here.
Well, after a car chase, police arrested a man who wasn't wearing any pants. The incident involved a stolen truck, and the RNC responded to a call about a pickup on Thorburn Road in St. John's with its snowplow blade scraping against the pavement. Now, officers found the vehicle but couldn't stop it. And a short time later, the truck was found upside down in Portugal Cove near the Bell Island Ferry Terminal. Police say the vehicle was stolen from a business on Kenmount Road.
Well, if you're looking to make a big splash, you'll have to do it somewhere other than the pool at the Paul Reynolds Centre. The $32 million facility is less than 18 months old, but is running into problems again. Last year, it was the gymnasium's flooring, and this time around, it's the swimming pool. Earlier this month, one of the pool's ceiling panels came loose, and an inspection shortly afterwards found that all 50 panels have to be removed. The pool is currently closed as repairs are made to its ceiling, but the city says they hope to have it up and running again in a few weeks. And if you paid for a birthday party or swimming lessons, you will be eligible for a refund.
Are you planning to get some presents in the mail for your loved ones across the country and other parts of the world? You might want to think again. There is no end in sight for rotating strikes hitting Canada Post, and with the holidays just around the corner, many are turning back to good old-fashioned in-store shopping for their holiday gifts.
I have done some shopping online. I'm not sure when I'm going to get it. So the rest of my shopping will be at the mall.
Now that the strikes are expected to continue into the holiday shopping season, there is a lot of pressure on Canada Post and the union to come to some kind of an agreement.
Well, there was quite a bit going on at the newly rebranded St. John's Native Friendship Centre this weekend. The newly named First Light Centre opened its doors to celebrate Indigenous art at the 2018 Spirit Song Festival. Musical acts included Eastern Owl, the Shalloway Youth Choir, and Twin Flames. A songwriters workshop led by Chelsea June of Twin Flames gave budding artists a chance to learn more about song structure and lyric writing. The festival welcomed acts of all ages and skill levels.
I think it's about accessibility. I think people think of songwriting as something that's super difficult, and it's hard to start something when you're intimidated from the beginning. So we kind of just try to strip that back and make it attainable for anyone who just wants to try.
Well, last week we brought you the story of Bud the pony. His owner can no longer care for him and is looking for a new home for the little horse before the winter sets in.
Now, the problem is that Bud has a health condition that means he needs to be separated from other horses. But some good news. After our story about Bud aired, a concerned horse lover reached out and offered Bud a new home. Here now's Malone Mullins stopped in to see how Bud is adjusting to the new digs.
Media coverage really helped because we have had people from PEI, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, even Ontario, offer to help, offer to foster him. Some people offer to adopt him. So, you know, it's such a, I don't know, I guess, a happy feeling to know that, you know, so many people are offering to help and, you know, people can band together and help even just one animal. It just makes such a difference. The next step is to see if we can get him to PEI to have his surgery. So we will have to do some fundraising for that. We don't have an exact number yet, but we will soon. He will be referred to the vet in PEI hopefully soon once the vet comes out and checks him out. It's definitely a happy ending start. So we're not quite there yet, but we'll keep you updated as it goes on, and for sure, you know, he's going to go to good places.
That's great.
Yeah, lucky pony.
Yeah, so he's safe and sound for now, but he still does have a long road ahead of him.
Now, in the spring, Rescue NL hopes to find him a permanent home and get some fundraising going to pay for the surgery that Bud needs. Now remember, you can watch Here and Now while you're on the go. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, and you can also catch past episodes on demand. Just go to YouTube and subscribe to CBC NL.
Well, here's a live look outside our studios tonight. Temperatures right now are going to be the coolest because they're warming up by the time tomorrow morning rolls around for many areas. I'll have all the details coming up.
Time now to have a look at the weather, but before we get to that, a sure sign that the wintry weather is starting to set in. It's time for the swans at Mundy Pond to be transferred to Bowring Park.
Oh yes, an annual event. There was a report this morning that these two swans at Mundy Pond were stuck in the ice at some point, and as the day went on, a small patch of open water allowed them a little bit of room to move.
The city says it plans to carry out its annual capture of the swans sometime this week. They'll be transported to Bowring Park, where they will stay during the winter months. And the good news is over the next couple of days, we're going to see some warmer weather.
Oh, that's good.
That is good
That
news.
could help the people who remember last year, Carolyn, like the people went to catch them and they couldn't get them.
It was
They kept dodging them.
I wonder how do they catch
Well,
those swans? Because swans aren't very friendly creatures.
No, they're beautiful, but they're saucy and nasty, actually. I mean, they look majestic, but they're really mean.
Yep.
And they're hard to catch, so maybe... Actually, you know what? we should actually go out there with Ashley and see if we can catch the swans.
What, you want me to catch the swans?
Both of us.
Oh.
Let's call the city and say, hey, we'll help.
Get our rubber waders on.
I'll stay away from that.
We warned you we'd make you do things.
You did.
Yeah.
You did warn me that you'd make me do things. That's true. But I'll stick with the weather for
All right.
now. Is that okay? Yeah, if we take a look at the current temperatures right now, sitting in the minus single digits, and they have been since yesterday too. That's why we're seeing those frozen waters. And those temperatures are quite cool up through Labrador as well, minus 17. Factor in that wind chill. It's feeling closer to minus 23, and the potential, or we're going to see some clear skies tonight through Labrador. So those wind chills are going to be significantly cooler, likely closer to about minus 33 for Lab City, and then the rest of Labrador looking at somewhere between minus 22 and minus 26 wind chills as we head through the night tonight. As far as what weather we're going to see, there's those clear skies I was mentioning through Labrador. Down through the island is where most of the weather will happen. We're seeing some onshore flurries tonight for the west coast, and then the little bit of precipitation moves in as we head through the night tonight. Starting along the south coast and the Burin, either flurries and then eventually changing over to showers after midnight for Burin. We're going to see that for the Avalon as well. And then the rain-snow line will continue to move north and west as we head into the morning hours. But we're going to see snow for the most part. Some of this rainfall likely somewhere between 10 to 15 millimeters. The most looks like it should be along the Avalon. And then eventually, as I mentioned, continuing to move more north and east by the time Tuesday afternoon rolls around. So if we take a look at the temperatures for tonight and what we're expecting, generally down to the minus single digits, -4 in Corner Brook. Along the south coast, Burin and Avalon, those temperatures are actually going to climb towards the morning hour, somewhere in the minus single digits. And then by the time tomorrow morning rolls around, about 2 or 3 degrees, and even more so as we head through the day on Tuesday. There's those wind chills I mentioned. Lab City going down to minus 28. Factor in that wind chill, feeling closer to minus 33. Happy Valley Goose Bay minus 19. But clear skies right across the board, minus 13 tonight in Cartwright. Some southwest winds helping to bring that down, that wind chill value down to about minus 26. So if we take a look at the snowfall accumulations tonight out ahead of that system, along the west coast, somewhere between 2, maybe 5 centimeters of snow. We're going to see that for central and then down through the south coast as well. Into tomorrow afternoon, those numbers will jump up closer to between 2 and 5 centimeters for parts of central. Buckens could pick up about around 6 centimeters of snow before that changes over to rain into the afternoon and evening hours. Now, there is a slight chance we could see some freezing rain Thursday or Tuesday night into Wednesday morning with the second round of precipitation that moves in. That's actually going to bring snow to parts of Labrador as well. Special weather statement in effect already, but I will have all those details and the forecast looking a little bit ahead coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, the Salt clothing line has had lots of online success. The local brand has racked up followers on Instagram and Facebook, and now the women behind the sweaters are going old school with a clothing line, a clothing store in their hometown. Here now's Garrett Berry got the behind-the-scenes look.
They're unloaded, unpacked, and ready to shine.
Last weekend was when we started this, and we came in for like 36 hours straight. We were cleaning, we were painting, like we've completely redone this entire building.
There's enough where these are small.
You might have seen these before.
Oh my goodness, salt sightings. We love those.
A few thousand followers on Instagram and a couple thousand more on Facebook.
When they even take a photo and post it and share it on our Instagram account, we get really excited.
They've got a certain online chic.
I mean, like you said, anyone can go out and screen print, and it's a little bit challenging to brand yourself. We're definitely learning that lesson slowly but surely. But to stand for something, I think that's the biggest part that's kind of different with our clothing line and other people's.
And that's that people are genuine and good-natured, all qualities people would often refer to people coming from this province. So when we take photos or if we design things, we're always kind of trying to be true to ourselves and true to where we're from and make sure that we're putting, ourselves forward in the most genuine way that we can.
This won't be Salt's only physical location. Saunders and Evans are also planning a small residential business in St. John's. But why would a brand with such Instagram appeal go old school?
Things kind of happen organically for us, and when this did occur, and it seemed like kind of an easy thing to do for us at that time, we said, okay, let's make a little pop-up shop and see what becomes of it.
And Grand Falls, Windsor, their home, just makes sense.
When we first started the brand about 1.5 years ago, we didn't realize just how much support would come out of this region specifically. We were really excited to get support and to watch it grow, but it always seemed like this region were really just excited for us and kind of following along what we were doing.
They've done sales before, but this will be the biggest store yet. Open until December 23rd, or while quantities last. Garrett Berry, CBC News, Grand Falls, Windsor.
They have to answer questions. They will be answering questions.
I mean, we're getting very little information in regards to what transpired, why it happened.
Still to come on Here and Now, we'll go back to the House of Assembly to hear some of the questions politicians have for Husky Energy. Welcome back. Oil, weather, and safety regulations mixed into a political slick at the House of Assembly today. This after this province's largest offshore oil spill happened on Friday. Well, after question period, I asked the Minister of Natural Resources, Siobhan Coady, several questions, starting with why Husky Oil isn't talking about what happened. This is the most significant oil spill in our offshore history, and Husky is not answering any questions.
Certainly, they have to answer questions. They will be answering questions on the because of the investigation that will be ongoing.
Right, but this happened on Friday.
Absolutely.
And the company, the polluter, is mute.
They should not be mute. They should be out giving people what is happening and what they're doing to mitigate and what their observations are. So they should be doing that.
Do you have any concerns this demonstrates a pattern? This is the same company that kept pumping when an iceberg was close. Now there's a huge storm and they still keep pumping. Is this a pattern?
So that's what part of the investigation will look at. With the safety and environmental protection plan was what was being enacted when the storm took place on Thursday. They did shut in, and when they started to when they decided to restart on Friday, and the question is, should they have restarted on Friday? Yeah. Right? And if that was permissible under the plan, why should it be permissible? It will be under investigation. That will be considered. I mean, we want to know, we as a province, we as the people of the province want to know how we can ensure this does not happen again. And so if they could restart on Friday, then what do we need to do to ensure that in circumstances like we're seeing, like we saw on Thursday, Friday, how can we make sure that that doesn't happen?
Are you aware of any other damages? The heli deck on Hibernia being out of commission for an hour, that the lifeboat safety deployment on Terra Nova, the arms were also damaged. Are there any other damages that Newfoundlanders and Labradorians should know of as a result of the worst storm in the world last week?
Certainly there were damages that did occur on Thursday and Friday. I can't give you a list of the damages. I don't have them here. There were damages, but safety was not an issue. So I will say that to the people of the province. That's one of the most important things. We do have a chief safety officer responsible for ensuring the safety of our offshore workers, and everything went well. And during, as you termed it, one of the worst storms on the planet. And so I'm glad to say that there was no safety incidences. Yes, there was some damages that did occur, I understand, because I was in touch with both CNLOPB and then in the evening, the operators to find out, to make sure, just to monitor what was happening offshore.
Now, Siobhan Coady's opposition critic Keith Hutchings says he doesn't understand why neither the province nor the federal government are providing more details about the spill and about why Husky Energy was drilling again on Friday while other rigs were not. As for the actual size of the spill, I asked Mr. Hutchings about that. Mother Nature has blasted the 250,000 litres. How do we actually know that figure's accurate?
We don't. At that particular time, based on the sheen, I guess, and based on other criteria, they made an estimate of that. But at the end of the day, I remember going down, and when I did the briefing with CNLPB, they talked about a sheen on top of the water. And from what I know very little about, from the scientific point of view, it doesn't always mean that that's the end of oil leaking out. How it dissipates in the water, the depth of water, the temperature of the water, all of those things could mean that the oil could still be flowing, but the sheen doesn't show on top of the water. So it's a great question. I don't know, but it's another question someone needs to ask at the end of the day. If you're saying it's only whatever it was, number of liters, how do you know that? And what's the scientific basis for it? And I guess they got to get down. I understand there's some equipment gone down to take a look to try and confirm if the leak is actually stopped.
Yeah, so lots of questions still from politicians and from the public.
Yeah, lots of questions, especially for Husky Energy. Not so many answers yet, but once we get those answers, CBC NL, of course, will bring them to you on our website and on Here and Now.
Well, coming up on Here and Now, it's about to get underway here, 100 years since the Ocock tragedy here in Labrador. The Spanish flu came and into Labrador and killed hundreds here. I'll have more on that coming up.
Welcome back to Here and Now. We're going to head to Labrador, where some people are marking the significant impact the Spanish flu had on the population 100 years ago this year.
The severe and deadly strain of the virus decimated much of the Inuit population on the north coast of Labrador.
Here Now's Jacob Barker is at the Friendship Centre in Happy Valley Goose Bay, where a ceremony marking the anniversary is just about to take place. So Jacob, tell us what's going on there tonight.
Well, Anthony, things are just getting underway here, so that's why I'm keeping my voice down. But people, in just a minute from now, they're going to light the hulik. It's a ceremonial flame, and it will be in remembrance of the history of what happened there in Okak 100 years ago today, or this year, sorry. It was in October of 1918 when a supply vessel called the SS Harmony set sail from St. John's for northern Labrador. It brought with it a deadly virus. The area most affected was north of Nain, in former communities such as Okak and Hebron. As a result, 204 of the 263 residents there perished. At the event here tonight, they will be lighting the hulik, the ceremonial flame. They'll also have a traditional meal. Alex Saunders' mother was from Okak. She was one of the few who survived the outbreak. He was cooking up some muktuk earlier, a traditional meal of whale blubber. He says it's to honor his ancestors, and it's important to remember the tragic events so they don't happen again.
It was such a tragic event up there. Actually, it changed the whole culture of the Labrador Inuit, and the uniqueness that the old Inuit had died with them, and we've never been able to get that back. And then, of course, there was dominance by the Moravian missionaries too for a long time, and the people now are starting to come onto their own. So I think it's very important that we commemorate events like this to be very aware of our own identity.
So you can see that ceremony taking place right now, lighting that ceremonial flame called the hulik. There are ceremonies going on simultaneously with this one in Postville and Riggle, a time for all of Labrador to come together and remember this tragic event. Reporting live for Here and Now in Happy Valley Goose Bay, I'm Jacob Barker.
We continue our series tonight into ATV use in Atlantic Canada with this next story from Prince Edward Island. The people who enforce ATV laws in that province say there are far too many riders breaking them. The CBC's Steve Bruce looks at how the disregard for the law is fairly common in rural communities, and some say it's a tough thing to change.
Officials say this is a common sight here in Mont Carmel and in so many rural areas. ATVs zipping down the side of roads where they're not allowed to be, many of them driven by kids too young to be riding alone. The president of Evangeline's ATV Federation says for many riders here, it's a necessity for getting around, just part of the way of life.
A lot of kids, they want to go visit their friends, girlfriends, wherever. It's an ATV that, you know, no denying, they'll take the back roads and whatnot, and it's been like that for years and years.
And PEI's conservation officers say it's a constant struggle to police it. In the last 6 years, they have issued nearly 500 charges under the Off-Highway Vehicle Act, but enforcement manager Wade McKinnon says that's a small fraction of the number of illegal riding complaints that come in. McKinnon says catching riders is just a tough game, especially with so many riding without a license plate.
They're able to enter fields and into the forest and take off where we won't be able to follow. And we do not chase off-highway vehicles. We believe it's putting someone's life at risk.
So, how to get more riders following the rules? The president of PEI's ATV Federation thinks mandatory safety training for all riders will help, but he says the first step is to create more legal trails. As it stands, riders technically have to stick to their own properties or the limited number of trails that other property owners have opened to ATVers. Bottom line, Peter Mellis says it's hard for riders to get anywhere on their ATVs without breaking the law.
You know, people are saying, why should I bother registering and plate on my bike when I leave my property, I'm breaking the law. The government has never opened any crown land for riding.
The Federation is in talks with government to try and change that. Its members are also constantly knocking on the doors of private property owners, encouraging them to open up some of their land to ATVs. In the meantime, though, conservation officers say riders need to realize the laws are in place for a reason.
Some of the riders don't believe they're not an issue. They're not damaging anything. They're just running up and down the highway. But running up and down the highway is a safety issue for everybody on the road.
McKinnon says the public can help by being more willing to identify riders spotted breaking the law, something that in small communities, he says islanders are often reluctant to do. Steve Bruce, CBC News, Mount Carmel.
And now to an exclusive CBC News investigation that has found Ottawa's largest public school board ignored repeated warnings about teachers at one high school, teachers who were later charged with sexually assaulting dozens of teenagers. 2 teachers died before their trial started. One is in prison. As Julie Ireton reports, victims want to know why the board failed to protect them.
Peter Hamer feels uncomfortable being back at Bell High School. That was where his music teacher, Bob Clark, exposed himself to him and tried to touch him.
And that was just hunting ground for Bob Clark.
In 1986, Hamer told the principal. He says the principal told him Clark would be moved. Clark was transferred to another Ottawa school where he sexually assaulted Mark Leach in the 1990s. Now the 2 men have met and they're both looking for answers.
He was telling me that this something similar happened to him, and he reported it, and he felt guilty because it happened to me.
It was really very sad because I thought nothing that I did stopped Bob Clark.
CBC has learned that in the 1970s, something similar happened with Bell High's basketball coach, Don Grenham. He too was moved to a different school shortly after a student complained. One legal expert says this was not unusual in the 1970s and 80s.
Very, very few abusers were held to account, and in fact, the common practice in the early period you're talking about would be to dismiss the teacher, but to send him on effectively to another teaching position.
CBC found no evidence school board officials notified police or carried out thorough investigations when initially warned about these cases. Charges were only laid after victims of a third Bell High School teacher went to police in 2016.
Music teacher Tim Stanitz had been hired to replace Bob Clark after he had been moved. Stanitz killed himself before his trial. Basketball coach Don Grenham also died before his court date. Bob Clark is now in federal prison.
The Ottawa Carleton District School Board refused CBC's request for an interview. It says it cooperated fully with police when charges were laid. Julie Ireton, CBC News, Ottawa.
An Ontario judge has rejected an appeal from a man who claimed he shouldn't be convicted of raping a woman because he was asleep at the time. A stranger sexually assaulted a 23-year-old woman 7 years ago as she was sleeping. Ryan Hartman was convicted of the assault but appealed the decision twice, the second time claiming he suffered from a sleeping disorder and he didn't know he was raping her. Today, a Brockville judge said she did not believe Hartman. The victim, who can't be named because of a court order, says since the attack, she has suffered from anxiety, severe depression, and suicidal thoughts. In the last 15 years, sexsomnia has been used successfully as a defense 5 times.
I had these 2 horses, and I wanted to find a home for them.
He kind of looked at her, and she backed up because she had never seen a donkey before.
So how did a lonely donkey save an old horse? This is actually not the beginning of a joke, Carolyn.
Nope. It is the start of a heartwarming story. That's coming up next. back to here now. I think we're all going to start talking at the same time.
You've got something special, right?
I do. Look at
Okay.
adorable photo here.
Oh, isn't that
It's
lovely?
this is Peter
Yeah.
from Gander Bay, Newfoundland. He says there's so much snow. Well, his owner says there's so much snow that even he needs a little hat.
That's adorable.
It's a very Christmassy hat too.
I know it is. Well, we are getting almost the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But that snowpack is going to go down a little bit as we head through the next 24 to 36 hours. We've got some rain on the way through the day tomorrow and looking ahead a little bit. So if we take a look at the forecast for tomorrow, temperatures are going to jump right up as well into the mid-single digits. So about 4 degrees in Gander, central areas along the Avalon, we'll likely see temperatures in the higher single digits. And then up through Labrador, where those temperatures are going to be quite cold thanks to a big ridge of high pressure and those cooler temperatures. So minus 19, winds will be fairly light though through the day. And then into Wednesday is when we're going to see a significant snowfall through Labrador. So here's a look at what we're going to see Tuesday night into Wednesday. We could see that potential, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, for some freezing rain for parts of the interior and central as we head through the night towards Wednesday morning. And then temperatures climb. So we're going to see that change over to rain, but all of that snow expected for Labrador. So Environment Canada has already issued a special weather statement, mainly along the coast and through to Happy Valley Goose Bay. In this case right now, it looks like accumulation somewhere between 20 to 30 centimeters is possible. And then windy conditions as well, gusting anywhere from 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. So blowing snow will certainly be a factor through the day on Wednesday. Otherwise, for the island, those temperatures are warm, above seasonal for this time of year, sitting between 7 and 9 degrees. So anything that does fall will fall as rain, at least for the first half of the day, and then some cooler temperatures move in, which means we're going to see everything change over to snow. So the reason for that is this cold pocket of air. This is in the upper levels. It's going to start to make its way down, certainly by Friday. So we'll start to see that cool down, and everything will change over to snow for the most part. And it looks like some significant snowfall is on the way as we head towards the end of the week. So here's a look at the outlook for now. There's that temperature drop Thursday night into Friday for eastern Newfoundland and the Avalon. Temperatures down to the minus single digits, and then windy conditions as well from Wednesday essentially through to Saturday for now. And then with that snow, we could see some blowing snow on Friday. Saturday looks like those flurries will stick around and temperatures around 0 degrees. Now, for parts of western Newfoundland, those temperatures are also going to drop a little bit earlier, though, as the cooler air moves in Tuesday night and then through the rest of the week or towards the weekend. We'll see those winds pick up on Friday into Saturday. So again, blowing snow is possible that day. Same thing for central, more like 5 to 10 centimeters. It looks like for Thursday. Some of these accumulations by the time Friday and Saturday rolls around could be upwards of about 20 to 30 centimeters. And then we're going to see that for Labrador as well. So temperatures for western Labrador down into the minus teens, minus 20s overnight. And then that's a little bit warmer for parts of eastern Labrador. There's that 20 to 30 centimeters on Wednesday, and then those winds are going to pick up. So blowing snow will certainly be a story. Into Thursday and Friday, we'll see another round of snow, but it does look cold heading into next week.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, we told you earlier in the show about Bud the horse from Bell Island getting a new home, and now we have a story about a horse from Saskatchewan who met a new best friend.
Yeah, as an old horse on her last legs and about to be put down when she meets a lonely donkey who goes on to save her life. Here's what happened.
It all started when we were moving off our farm that we lived on for 29 years. We were downsizing, and I had these 2 horses, and I wanted to find a home for them. But one horse had very poor legs, and I decided it'd be best that he would be put down. And with Peggy, she's 24 years old, and I tried to find a home for her too. She was in good health. And as soon as somebody found out how old she was, they weren't interested in her. So I thought it'd be best for both of them if they would both be put down rather than end up somehow getting on the slaughter line. At the store, I ran into a nurse friend of mine, and I told her that I was feeling pretty bad because I was going to have to put my horse down. And she mentioned that she knew another nurse at the hospital that had a donkey, and his name was Festus. She said that she might be interested in taking Peggy.
Well, Festus came around the barn and he kind of looked at her, and she backed up because she had never seen a donkey before. He said, hi, I'm a nice guy to know. He's quite a handsome brute. And they, sniffed as animals do, and they've been together ever since.
This was the happiest moment of my entire life, to find a home for Peggy.
He was depressed. My farrier, who happens to be the same farrier that Peggy has, everything is like surreal. She said, you're getting a very nice animal with Peggy. And I just think it's a wonderful Christmas story, a wonderful happiness in my life. I'm a positive person, and this is just a full circle.
So there you go. Peggy and Festus, they could have their own sitcom or some sort of romantic comedy.
Children's book or something.
Yeah, nice,
so sweet.
Nice story. All right, let's turn to news from central Canada. Quebec Premier François Legault has asked Premier Doug Ford to reconsider his government's decision to cut services for Ontario's French-speaking population.
I would have liked to see a Francophone university in Ontario. I would prefer to keep a commissary that is dedicated only to Francophones.
Legault met with Ford in Toronto. They also talked trade between the provinces and a possible hydro deal. Their meeting today had been set up before his Ontario counterpart announced those cuts last week. Ford says his government will remove the position of a French language services commissioner and scrap plans for a new Francophone university. Ford insists his cost-cutting moves won't affect services to people who speak French in Ontario. The cuts have also been criticized by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, as well as federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer, as well as the mayors of Montreal and Quebec City.
I'll take a look at this beautiful winter scene. The trees maybe give it away a little bit, probably not.
Well, let's see, it's not near here.
Nope.
Snowshoe tracks?
No, it just looks like feet.
Feet? Yeah.
No idea.
All right, well, I'll tell you where this is coming up after the break. before the break, we showed you this gorgeous shot.
Yeah, I wish that rabbit with the red hat was like running down the trail.
So then you would know exactly
would
where
help.
it was.
It would
Yeah,
help.
definitely. Well, this photo was taken in Pasadena, or just outside Pasadena, a winter wonderland. So snowy day there. Thank you, Rich Wheeler, for sending that photo in. If you have any other photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Yeah, send them in. That's gorgeous.
What a difference between the east and west of the island right now.
No, I think I'd take that.
Totally.
See you tomorrow.
Good night. Good night.